Welcome to my webcast. I know that a number of you over recent weeks have written to me about a number of issues. Let's try and deal with some of those. The first one to do with rail fares. I recognise that any fare increase won't be welcomed. I understand that. South Eastern, though, are allowed to increase their prices under the franchise that they have by the retail price index plus 3%. And they have increased fares by that on average. Some have gone up slightly more, others are lower than that, which is what they are required to do. And that is the control that we do have over the companies, but at the end of the day, these are private companies. And why are they at RPI plus 3? Well, it's to reflect the investment that has gone in. Now, I suspect many of you will well remember when we had the oldest rolling stock on any line in the country going back to the 60s and the 70s, the old slam door stock, smelly, dirty, uncomfortable, not particularly safe when travelling alone, and all that has now gone, and we have the new trains that are there. All that costs money, and in fact, since 2000 we've had 600 new trains and carriages on that line at a cost of more than £500 million. Some of that's paid by the taxpayer generally from government funds, other from the fare payer, you who have written into me. So I do recognise the concern, but at the end of the day, if we're going to have greater reliability, better punctuality, if we're going to have trains that are serviced properly, so for example South Eastern have opened 2 new depots in East Kent to maintain the rolling stock. You and I will remember the days when rolling stock didn't turn up in the morning because it hadn't been maintained overnight, because it hadn't been serviced properly, because it hadn't been cared for, and that wasn't that proper provision. All that has been put in place. Still a long way to go. I know that, you know it, but it's certainly a lot better than it was before. But as I say, I recognise that rail fare increases never welcomed at any time. Secondly, we've obviously had the pre-budget report, which has significantly introduced a lot of money into the economy, into what will be your pockets to be able to help keep the economy going. So things like bringing forward child benefit, raising the increased levels there, giving pensioners an extra £60 for Christmas, all important initiatives, reducing VAT, I know by 2.5%, but if you look at the package overall, that's what about kick-starting the economy. And of course we brought forward substantially public works to invest in schools, in transport projects, to actually be able to help us with the economic situation that we find ourselves in, and of course the whole world finds itself in. We produced a special pre-budget report which we're currently mailing out to anyone that's written to us about these issues, but if you want to make sure that you've got one, then by all means email your name and address to us here and we'll make sure that you get one. That covers 2 main issues that I know that all of you have raised, and the third thing, just to say, of course, I have, since I last did the webcast, become Minister at the Department for Transport at the beginning of October. I'm delighted to have taken on that role. It certainly is about creating sustainable transport methods and modes within our towns, within our cities. I'm looking forward to and enjoying that challenge to date, but at the end of the day, first and foremost, I'm still your Member of Parliament. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for your time.